being interviewed, like the students, faculty, parents, or whatever.
Oh, well, I was in English class with Josh and Jesse at the same time, and they had the big screen pulled down, and you're watching it, and they were interviewing these two students, and like, it seemed like our whole classroom was more upset than they were. Like, it seemed like they were just trying to get like 5 minutes of like fame or whatever, and like this one kid, he didn't even seem sad. He was kind of like smiling, I guess. I don't know if it was smiling.
Yeah.
It didn't seem like he really cared.
Yeah, it's kind of crazy. Like, you know, I'm gonna comment after like people's questions and stuff. You don't have to worry about that. You can do that afterwards. It's cool. But it's kind of crazy. Like, you kind of saw people in like there was like no like emotional kind of response with it. You know, it's like it's hard. It's hard. Yeah, it's hard. It's hard when people are in shock, because when people are in shock, they do crazy stuff. It's like they're either super heroic, or they like run around like flailing. I mean, there's only like two options, really.
I watched Crime Time where Katie Couric was interviewing the one guy, and they saw him walking, and then him and a couple other students like pulled the table and pushed it against the door so he could get in. Got it like 6 inches open, I think he said, and then they all shut it back on him, and he started like putting bullets through the door. Luckily, none of them. I don't think any of them were shot, and then he started walking on.
It's crazy.
I was watching, listening to the radio this morning, and they something happened again this morning or something.
Another bomb threat.
And yeah, the lady called in, and she was with her 9-year-old, and the daughter was showing her what happened where, and then the cops came up to her and said take cover, and then behind the tree she called the radio station.
That's great. I mean,
there were 10 university lockdowns today.
Yeah, there's going to be some major copycats, which we're gonna talk about some of this stuff here next few minutes about this stuff. We got Josh.
There was a professor on the news. He died saving all the kids in his class. Somehow he barricaded the door and put himself up to hold it shut. And then the guy shot a couple bullets through the door, and then the last one hit that guy, and then he moved on, and that professor saved all the kids in his class.
Yeah.
The professor was a Holocaust survivor.
Yeah, Jesse survived the Holocaust, and he gets gunned down by a crazy man. This is absolutely. That's the craziest thing you can think of, you know.
Yeah, by the way, Sam's raising his hand.
Okay, I got. Who's that back there? Is that Austin? Okay, I couldn't tell because it's the light was right there. It's Sam. Go ahead, Austin.
Why did this guy kill his people?
I
Oh,
remember
it's-
that
okay.
it was about the first one was about his ex-girlfriend.
Well,
She didn't have a girlfriend.
Imaginary.
She was
There's probably there's
Well, I don't
stuff
know.
obviously.
I don't get
Obviously, one second. One second. There's a lot of question marks with that, just because. Hey, I have PowerPoint too of this. Can you?
Where is it?
It's on there. Can you just go to that first slide there for me? It's just some visuals or whatever. But that's probably the question that's one of the questions that'll probably go unanswered, just because of the fact that he killed himself. So it's just the picture. Okay. That's okay. I try my best here. Okay, just don't sit back. Sit back. Go back that picture. Oh, there you go. Okay. And so, but we obviously don't know. A lot of people are making judgments and assessments on that. They said it might be a chemical imbalance that led him to do that. I know that there's been some talk of amongst Christian circles anyway of him actually being demon possessed or something along those lines. Might be some people say it's because of a broken relationship, or it's because of some chemical imbalance, and all they do is can make really good guesses at it. And obviously he's done some stuff in the past that might point to some things, but we really don't know. I mean, this is the kind of scary thing about it. It wasn't just this guy that snapped, but he had a chain that was chaining doors. So it's he knew points where he can block things off so like police wouldn't be able to get to him. So it was more thought out than just.
Like it wasn't like he woke up one morning.
It wasn't like he just woke up, snapped, grabbed his friend's gun, and started shooting people.
Yeah, he got a gun
And
in
so,
March.
yeah. So anyway, that was a good question though. We try to answer it the best we can, but there's probably never a good answer for those kind of questions. Okay, Sam and Krishana, go ahead.
Pastor,
Sam.
did you hear also in Belmont? There's been a lot of threats for Belmont.
Yeah. We're actually going to talk about schools around here in a second. Okay.
Oh yeah, there was a shooting threat.
Yeah, we're talking about these things. Go ahead. Go, Krishana.
Yeah, about how you were saying about how we don't really know why he did it, like what might have caused him to do it. I heard a couple of the teachers, he did wrote a couple plays.
Oh yeah.
And one of them was about this kid who was molested, who was going on a rant about how he was going to kill the guy who did it to him, and the other one was about these kids who went on a vacation and plotted to kill their teacher. And the teacher who got these was really concerned. She tried to report him to the police and with another teacher, but they didn't do anything because they didn't have a record.
Yeah, I heard that. He wrote the plays and all that.
Yeah, he wrote some very, very disturbing things, and obviously a lot of things they'll bring question marks. Hindsight is always 20/20. You know, like the thing with hindsight. If you ever hear that phrase, hindsight's 20/20, it's pretty much it's like when you're standing on top of a mountain, you see a lot more than if you're like in the middle of the situation. And so we're obviously a lot of these media people are going to say we're going to throw out a lot of different things. They're going to say, well, it was the bad gun control that did this, or it was. They're going to throw out all kinds of different storylines and plot lines about how the school didn't do this and didn't do that. But I think
like he shot this place. Why didn't they lock the whole campus?
Well, and you know what? In hindsight, is 20/20.
Why did it take 2 hours to get to him?
I don't. You know what? And these are questions. Obviously, they're going to be solving. But I think the biggest thing is okay, you're in that situation, and it's you have to make that judgment call now. Now, what are you going to do? And obviously, we have the answer right now, which is okay, I'm going to lock down campus. I'm going to do this. Which happened today is that there were different threats, major lockdowns. But here's this guy.
Didn't they say there were 2 shooters?
What's that?
Didn't they say there were 2 shooters?
Yeah, one of them.
There might be 2 shooters. They're just not sure about a lot of stuff, But I bring a lot of this stuff up, and there's obviously going to be a lot more questions than answers. Unfortunately, of why people were targeted, if they were, and so on and so forth. But I think some of the things we kind of have to talk about is okay, we had some different threats that happened. I know a couple about what was it, last Thursday?
Thursday.
Last Thursday, at Heritage High School, there was threats of a shooting, and I think at Belmont.
But it was gang related. They said it was gang related.
Yeah, I mean.
And Stone.
Yeah, and so there's different places that have these things, and it could pose a lot of fear inside of us. But I think we got to tackle a couple of different things. Can you click 2 slides down, please? Yeah, right there. It's good. And so I have this guy up here for a reason. Obviously, I'm not glorifying anything that he did whatsoever. And
That was him.
Yeah.
This is the guy that they're saying based off of the fingerprints and all these other things. But
That one was Tookie's own one.
Yep.
yeah, he killed himself. And I was thinking about it. I'm you know what, what necessarily would I have done? Say I'm a Christian, right? Say I'm a Christian going to Virginia Tech, and obviously it's all hypothetical because I never went to Virginia Tech. I went to Valley Forge. So anyway, so say I'm a Christian at Virginia Tech, and I sat next to him day in and day out. I know he's a little bit weird. You just kind of sit next to him because you have to. It's the only seat in place. So day in and day out, I'm a Christian. God commands us to go in the world, tell the good news of the gospel of Jesus Christ. And I never said a word to him. I might try to say hi to him, and he kind of just ignored me like he ignored everybody else. But I had an opportunity to speak something in his life that might possibly change his life. No one ever got him to talk. And so, which we find out these things based off of friends and all stuff. But what would happen if in a prayer time you're praying for him, and God says, "Hey, I want you to share this with